You're listening to Sustain It Forward, a podcast where I talk to award-winning professionals and students who are studying sustainability about ways that we can invest in, learn from, and support each other to create a brighter future. My name is Dodd Galbraith, and I'm the Director of Graduate Programs at the Institute for Sustainable Practice at Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome to our podcast. Welcome to Sustain It Forward. My guest today is Jerry Faber, who graduated from Lipscomb University in 2012 with a Master of Science in Sustainability. Welcome, Jerry. How are you doing today?
Good. Good morning, Dodd. It's a pleasure to be with you today and discuss, I guess, my career and my what I've taken from my time at Lipscomb.
Excellent. So how would you describe your current occupation? What does your job title mean? I saw that on LinkedIn. I thought it was a pretty interesting job title.
Yeah, I guess most recently my current job title is a staff engineer, design and release engineer at Rivian Automotive. And Rivian is a pretty new company, but they have some very big ambitions. Some very big partners with Amazon and I guess Ford Motor Company.
Excellent. So in terms of maybe early kind of formative inspirations, was it? Do you have a particular childhood hero, or was there a particular event early in life that led you in this direction?
I guess for me, I mean, my probably I guess childhood hero would have been my dad. He was a very mechanically inclined person there too. He actually worked on nuclear submarines. So
wow, fantastic.
I didn't quite have the same ambition, but also for my undergraduate degree, I worked on a kind of Formula SAE type of team. So that got me tinkering with vehicles. But then, I mean, throughout my career, when I was at Nissan and stuff like that, there was a big push for, sustainability. And that's really what drove me to coming to Lipscomb and getting more involved in the sustainability side of things, which led me to working at Tesla and now Rivian, which are, I guess, kind of putting more emphasis on the sustainability and pretty much the whole package, the automobile and the sustainability, just kind of as a whole zoomed out package.
Excellent. So in terms of your experiences from Nissan to Tesla to Rivian, how would you describe the differences in those three experiences, and what led you to what you're doing now at Rivian?
Yeah, I mean, at Nissan, with the Leaf and everything like that, they were really trying to, dabble, I guess, in the environmental and sustainability side of things. I guess, Nissan being a large company, they were also profit driven from the internal combustion engines there too. So it was a very gradual change, and they're looking at doing things further in the future, but it's going to be a very gradual change. And then going to a place like Tesla, where it was from the ground up, that was like a pillar of their foundation and stuff like that, it's all sustainable, and it's all, although I kind of did notice towards the end there, they're definitely profit driven too, but so some of the decisions that I guess kind of are made are biased a little bit towards the profit and maybe less. But it is still a very sustainable vehicle that they're doing. But at Rivian, it seems to be a very holistic approach that they're taking. where it's definitely, focused on, our children's children type of thing, the future, and to be, that outdoor adventurous. But then also all areas of the business have underlying sustainability on it. They look at, okay, how can we do meetings without paper? Or how can we do an office without paper? And just every aspect of the company is geared towards that sustainability, which is definitely something I want to be part of. So that's
excellent. And that makes so much sense. That when I talk to a lot of our, incoming students over the last 14 years, they always say they're looking for a meaningful occupation, an occupation that's hitting on all the right ethical and moral and sustainability cylinders. And to use the wrong analogy there in the electric car world, but your generation really is, I think, focused on that whole package. That really fascinates me. So in terms of your experience at Rivian, what would you say is your all's primary ambition? And you mentioned the sort of outdoor enthusiast. I guess that was because you all started off with an electric truck, but I understand that Amazon announced recently they're going to be purchasing 1,000 delivery vehicles from you all.
I think it's actually more than that. I think in the next, I think we have an order of like 100,000 vehicles over the next multiple years here. So, the Amazon deliveries, you see them all over the place. You can't probably go out on a drive anywhere without seeing an Amazon Prime vehicle. So to move that fleet to a more sustainable way is, it's a vehicle that's purposely built for Amazon. So it's going to be very exciting to see those. There's a few out on the road right now, but the whole fleet in the next coming years will be very exciting. And then the Rivian vehicles themselves that we kind of tailor towards the outdoors, kind of Patagonia type thing, whereas the Tesla is more of a luxury vehicle. We're trying to have something that you can drive every day of the week. You can drive it to work and then also be to drive it for camping outdoors or an outdoor experience type of thing, is a kind of one size fits all type of thing, whereas you don't need to have multiple vehicles.
Yeah. So you mentioned there were 3 vehicles you all were building at your current plant. So the delivery vehicle, sort of a truck, and is the third one an SUV type vehicle?
Yeah, right now that's what has been released. There's other vehicles we're working on in the future that will be coming, because the plant that we did purchase from Mitsubishi there does have some space to grow. So, but right now for this year, the focus is on the R1T, which is the truck. The R1S actually shares the same platform, but it's a slightly shorter vehicle, but that's a 7-passenger SUV. And then the Rivian Prime van, which is the one we're building for Amazon. Those are our focus right now. So
excellent, amazing. So this is all very interesting. So it makes me want to ask, a few more questions about your kind of personal development. And I know that's something that young professionals or even aspiring engineers who may be dreaming of what their life is going to be one day from an elementary school or high school chair that may be watching this. So what would people be most surprised by your hobbies or interests outside of work?
Outside of work, and that's actually something that kind of aligns with Rivian, the outdoor kind of type of thing. I do some mountain biking and some just to kind of get in touch with nature. I just like to be in nature, and kind of away from the city a little bit and stuff like that. And it just helps keep me kind of grounded to, why I'm working on what I'm working on type of thing. So.
Excellent. Excellent. What are some of your favorite places to go visit?
Living up in Michigan right now, there's a lot of state parks and stuff like that that are around that I try to visit frequently. And right now with COVID, I don't really have the opportunity, but try to do that when I can.
So is when you think about your hobbies and the enjoyment of nature and your work with electric cars, are there other practice areas of sustainability that get your interest, that you work in, or that you would like to dabble in more, that you don't get a chance to do as much as you'd like?
Yeah, I definitely want to be, I guess, even more involved in some of the sustainability. I mean, we're definitely, Rivian itself is developing that, and just how we're going to interact with the customer, how we're going to, all other areas of the business that do have some sustainability in it. I haven't been too involved in that because our company is growing like crazy right now, but it's definitely something that I'm looking at as I continue to develop as an engineer and as to work on in the future.
Okay. Yeah. So, in terms of your preparation for this career, I mean, you've had some really interesting experiences. I mean, obviously working at Nissan, you were part of an organization that had been in Tennessee for a long time and gone through several different product lines. Electric cars kind of came late in the game for them, so they were much more well established than, say, Tesla was, I guess, at the time that you joined them. But now you're at essentially an earlier startup company than Tesla was at the time that you joined them.
Yeah.
So what kinds of things, looking back on your life and your education, do you think helped prepare you most to be successful at each of the places you've been?
Yeah, I mean, with Nissan being such an established automotive company, you get a lot of the kind of best practices in the history working through vehicles, and in some respects that can be an advantage, but other respects they're always tied to those.
Yeah.
They're not as willing to change. I mean, and then you go to a place like Tesla and Rivian, which are, it's a blank sheet of paper basically. You just
Amazing.
And the amount, I don't want to say risk that we take, but there's more risk involved in a startup where you want to try to set yourself apart from the rest of the OEMs out there to make something different. And I kind of challenge everything, which is, it's a very good environment to be in because it's just very open and very continues to drive learning forward and stuff.
So was there were there particular classes in either your undergrad experience or your graduate experience that you felt like help you cope with the ability or the desire to be in a place where you didn't have as many limitations on creativity and limitations on creating new ways of doing things, that also help refine maybe your technical skills or even business skills?
Yeah, I mean, I know one of the classes that I always, I guess, reflect on from my time at Lipscomb there was the conflict management course that we took as part of that was definitely something that I guess reflect on quite a bit, is just, how to deal with people and how to deal with people that don't necessarily have the same outlook as yourself. And then some of the other courses that that I did take at Lipscomb there just also helped, just see other people's viewpoint. I mean, that's something as an engineer, we're usually a little more closed mind, and we don't really see the holistic approach. And that's something that I definitely took from my time there.
Excellent. So what kinds of things have you done to continue kind of your educational or your skill development since you left graduate school?
I'm trying to get more involved in kind of the automotive sector and that sustainability side of things. There's some organizations out there. I haven't gotten too involved with it. Just recently, started my career at Rivian here, so just kind of getting settled again. But it's definitely something I want to try to get more involved in, and just because I think there definitely is areas out there that focus on that. So it's definitely something that I want to try to contribute to. So.
All right. So has there been a career moment that just really kind of defined, and solidified the trajectory of your professional life that you wanted to take?
Yeah, I mean, throughout my career, there's been different aspects. I mean, I can remember back when I was early on at Nissan. It just, I was working on the Nissan Xterra at the time, and just, it was kind of a revolutionary vehicle for Nissan at the time, and just being part of that, and then being able to see, you see them on the road, and I still see them around, and it just brings back really fond memories of, the time. And, that was probably one of the first vehicles that I launched at Nissan. So it was definitely a highlight of my career there. But I definitely think, with Rivian here at Tesla, I kind of came in a little bit later, and I launched the Model 3, but I wasn't around too much afterward. So I'm definitely looking forward to Rivian when we launch these vehicles, and it'll be the first time anybody's seen the vehicles. And overall, the press so far has been very positive. So it seems like it fits the need of people, and that's really, I guess, what we strive for as engineers, is to make something, that people want and appreciate, I guess, too. So.
Excellent. So what do you think you'd like to leave behind in your career? What kind of a project do you want to kind of be known for that either you're working on now or that you'd like to work on in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and this is one of the reasons that drove me to Rivian, is just they have a lot of ambitious goals for the future, and the possibilities there's a lot of possibilities, in my career to grow in different areas. But like I said earlier, is they always have that underlying pillar of sustainability as part of the company. So it's definitely encouraging, and I really feel that there's going to be some great things that come out of this company in the future. So.
Excellent. I always ask everyone this question: what's the coolest sustainability practice you've ever seen, that you've ever come across in your career or hobbies?
I know one of the things that Rivian is doing right now that I really feel is very unique is what they're doing for their shipping containers between suppliers and the plant. They're actually using ocean plastic, recyclable. plastic from the ocean to make these containers. So they're trying to,
Wow.
I mean, it's something that when you think about the amount of parts that come in and out of a plant, there's hundreds and thousands of these containers to ship parts around, and they took the initiative to make, use sustainable ocean plastic to make these. So I mean, it's definitely something, just little things like that, I mean, will have an impact, and it's definitely something that's encouraging for both our use and for other people. So.
Excellent. So in terms of kind of our Sustain It Forward theme, what is maybe kind of one piece of advice that you'd give to someone who's thinking about making sustainability as their career?
Yeah, I guess the one piece of advice I can give is when you look at sustainability, I mean, it's part of everything. It's a part of your everyday life, and it's not one thing we do is not tied to that sustainability, whether it's the way you eat, the way you work. It's all tied in together, and that's definitely something that I noticed when I was at in my graduate program there too, was when you were working with other individuals in, other aspects of sustainability, whether it's food or engineering or housing. There's so much that's our entire life is connected through sustainability. So
Interesting. All right. Is there anything else that you'd like to share just as a kind of closing remarks in regard to, your experiences or anything you think might benefit those who are sort of struggling with making sustainability happen every day?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's sometimes it's a difficult decision to do kind of the right thing for everyone, and it's definitely, you have to definitely have some conviction and to kind of hold your kind of moral ground there, and make some of those difficult decisions. So I guess that's the only advice that I would have.
Great. Excellent. Well, thank you, Jerry, for being with us today. So this is the end of our podcast. I want to encourage you to come back and watch us again and help us all sustain it forward.